So we're back again. It's another day, another week in our weekly roundup. I'm back with Corbin again, one of our rock star guys here at Bitcoin.com, most famously known for the Bitcoin transaction highway. I'm sorry, transactionhighway.com.
TXhighway.com.
TXhighway.
Sure.
So now, actually, we have a list of things to talk about. We might as well just talk about that first.
The first one, top post on RBTC in the last 7 days, was by Bruce Fenton on Twitter. He wrote, things Americans are allowed to legally purchase: state-sold lottery tickets, diet pills, timeshares, casino gambling, payday loans, rent-to-own furniture. Illegal: hedge funds and venture capital funds, which are reserved exclusively for Congress members and other rich people. So I think that might
sums it up pretty well. Yeah, like the government says you can buy all sorts of absolutely stupid, ridiculous things like lottery tickets. But oh my God, if you invest in a risky ICO, we're going to prevent you from doing that and toss you in jail if you do, and maybe toss the ICO people in jail too. Yeah. And the whole thing is just nuts and crazy talk. How does anybody take these government people seriously when they try to pass laws like that?
Yeah, so, I mean, the beautiful thing is that we're seeing, things on Twitter. We're seeing people actually talk about this stuff, and I think the more people are talking about it, seeing the hypocrisy in government regulations, it's pretty easy to kind of tear it apart when you've got censorship-proof social media platforms like Memo.cash and Blockpress, and as long as Twitter doesn't go too crazy down their little hole, we'll see how things go.
And there's another one we didn't have on our list, but it was just out today. The Department of Justice is looking at prosecuting ICOs. And it's just mind-blowing to me. There's some ICOs that are stupid ideas. There's some that are even intentional scams.
Absolutely.
But let's stop and think for a minute. Where does the Department of Justice get its entire budget is extracted from people under the threat of sending them to jail? So basically they have this big giant extortion ring going where they're extorting money from people and then using it to prosecute ICO people. Well, why don't you just let people keep their money in the first place, and then buyer beware with what ICOs they invest in? So the Department of Justice people watching this, focus on crimes with real victims, not stupid ICO investments, and then find your funding in a moral way. Don't steal it from people, which is exactly what the taxes that you collect your money from is. And I don't know if you're all the way down that road.
I'm pretty way down there. Unfortunately, it's.
You see the world differently once you see it that way.
You live through one audit and you kind of,
see the world a bit differently.
It turns you a little bit. Actually, speaking on that note too, did you see the fake ICO that the U.S. government ran?
So it's perfectly okay. Yeah. How much money did they spend on that?
How much government money, taxpaying dollars, were they spent just to try to teach people a lesson? Come on.
And then they forced all of the Americans, at least anyhow, to pay for that sort of thing.
Taxation is theft.
There you have it. So,
second most upvoted tweet on RBTC in the last 7 days was by Forbes author Frances Coppolla. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name. So she said, "Congratulations, Blockstream. You have just reinvented the interbank lending market." She followed up with her own tweet saying, "Strong federation of cryptocurrency exchanges equals banking cartel, like we've never seen those before. So, Blockstream, why should we trust a cartel of cryptocurrency exchanges when we don't trust cartels of banks?"
She got it.
Yeah, smart woman.
Yeah, I don't know if we even need to add too much more to that.
No,
the entire point of Bitcoin was to allow peer-to-peer payments directly from person to person without needing a watchtower online to monitor things and without having super crazy high fees and unreliable transactions. So anyhow, Blockstream, I don't know what they're up to.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in it at this point. But
I think
too bad they stole the Bitcoin name.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the fact is, Frances, she's not pro Bitcoin Cash or pro Bitcoin Core, but she's seeing it for what it is. And I mean, I think that's what people are really starting to come around. It's pretty clear what Blockstream has been planning all along.
They blocked the stream.
Yeah, this liquid stuff. Go down that rabbit hole if anyone hasn't had a chance. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, and then they're welcome to do it, but read the title of the white paper: a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. That's not what Bitcoin Core is anymore, and that's not what Blockstream's working towards. And they claim that we're the ones trying to steal the Bitcoin name.
Yeah.
Go and read the very title of the white paper, and it's clear between Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is the one that meets the criteria of being a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. So the Bitcoin Core developers are building towards something else. But and good luck to them, but it's not Bitcoin.
Yep.
Despite the fact that at the moment it has the most accumulated proof of work. Yeah, that's an important characteristic. I made a whole other video of that. We'll put a link to that.
What makes Bitcoin Bitcoin and what's more Bitcoin Cash-ish. So, go check that video out.
Bitcoin Cash is more Bitcoin-ish than the Bitcoin Core at this point.
I completely agree. Next one was Colin Enstad reached out to Gavin Andreson for an interview for a documentary on the scaling debate. So Gavin's reply to him was, "Sorry, I'm not doing public interviews anymore. The risk outweigh benefits, sadly."
I understand why he feels that way. I look at what happened to him and Mike Hearn, and then myself. Do they just anybody that's willing to speak out and actually say the truth that Bitcoin can scale on chain to be money for the entire world as described originally and was the roadmap originally? They get attacked viciously over and over and over by a bunch of people that know what they're doing, and then a bunch of lemmings that just see all the other people saying, "Oh, beat cash, beat trash," and they just join in because they want to be part of the popular club, even though they don't understand what it is they're talking about.
Yeah.
And like I said before, name calling is not an argument. You can call Bitcoin Cash beat trash all day long, but that doesn't change the fact that its payments are faster, cheaper, more reliable than Bitcoin Core transactions. So name calling is not an argument.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, speaking on that point too, I was at a meetup yesterday, the Bitcoin meetup, the one that you founded here in Tokyo. It's surprising to see how many people are moving over towards the Bitcoin Cash meetup. I'd say the majority at this meetup,
especially in Tokyo.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising. And one of the things someone asked me, has anyone gotten into like a fist fight here debating Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin Core? And I said, fact is, when people are in person, they're a lot more civil. People get along a lot better. But you put people behind these Twitter anonymous avatars, and people say some nasty stuff. They
death
threats.
Coming.
It's pretty psychotic. What people are willing to do behind the keyboards. So I think the best thing is like the community. We're trying to keep our community just kind of moving in the right direction. And we're seeing, constant attacks from the Bitcoin Core camp.
But all we can do is ask people, stop and think for yourself. If you're undecided, try making a Bitcoin Core transaction, make a Bitcoin Cash transaction. Look for yourself. Which one was faster, cheaper, more reliable? Which one is actually peer-to-peer money? And don't say Lightning Network solves everything, because Lightning Network doesn't exist yet. It's still alpha software. There's like 15 Bitcoin in the entire world locked up in Lightning Network channels. And again, you have to be online to receive a payment. That's not peer-to-peer cash. With Bitcoin on-chain transactions, you don't have to log in for years, and someone can send you a payment and it'll be right there waiting for you the next time you sync up your computer.
Yeah. So next one, pool miners began discussion on funding developers at the recent BCom conference in Hong Kong. Sounded like it was going to be a small percentage, approximately 1%, although it sounds.
I think it was even way less than that. So I was physically present in the room, so I can speak to what was talked about. And so the initial funding idea was to give Bitcoin ABC some funding so they can hire some developers and do more stuff. And they wanted a couple $1 million, $2 million a year for that. And at the current price of Bitcoin Cash, that worked out to, I think, 0.2% of the block reward, which is very, 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 very little. And I think actually our intention here at Bitcoin.com was to have that up and running and that donation happening with our blocks. I think we were supposed to do it this week, and we just got so busy with all those things. But a lot of us actually come in on Saturdays or Sundays and work part-time as well over the weekend. So maybe this weekend we'll have time to make that a reality as well.
Actually, and speaking on that too, Vin Armani from he's from Cointext. He's the guy behind Cointext. He's kind of a jack of all trades, super smart guy.
And do you know what his past history was?
Yeah, he was a gigolo at one point.
I had no idea. So I got to hang out with him in Hong Kong this last week, and I just knew him from Cointext and as a libertarian, and thought he was like a cool guy because of that. But apparently he was like the top gigolo in the entire United States.
He was on a reality show
HBO reality series or something. I thought, man,
he's an interesting man.
That's
for sure.
Some interesting stuff.
So he had a great podcast on called "The Future of Bitcoin." If you haven't had a chance to check that podcast out, where he kind of breaks down what this funding means for the future of Bitcoin Cash and why he's so bullish on Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core. And there was some concern over people saying, "Oh, this is a tax. This is a tax on miners." And he had a great way to explain it that, this is closer to a partnership agreement reserving profits for research and development. It's an optional thing to some degree. It's not like it's
totally optional.
Mine somewhere else, or you don't like it, you can figure it out. But
there's plenty of other coins out there as well.
Absolutely. So I think, check out The Future of Bitcoin. That was the name of the podcast on the Vin Armani show. Super interesting, maybe one hour kind of podcast.
And one other fun fact, and I hope Vin doesn't mind me telling this, and I hope I don't get the facts wrong, but while he was the top male gigolo in the United States, he was, you want to guess who he was dating?
I can't even imagine.
One of the top female equivalents in the entire United States.
Couple of hustlers.
So there's some real entrepreneurs there. So
I like it.
I thought that was pretty interesting. So Vin, keep up the great work. I love listening to your shows as well.
All right, next up is the Bitcoin Cash Pizza Day. It was a huge success in Tokyo. It was, what was it, Tuesday night?
Yeah, Tuesday
night. half price pizza at Two Dogs Brewery in Roppongi, and we had a great turnout of Bitcoin Cash supporters.
Entire restaurant was packed with Bitcoin Cash people.
Yeah, and everyone was paying with Bitcoin Cash, on-chain pizzas, on-chain beers. It's kind of what this thing was meant for, right? And
I don't think there was a single Bitcoin Core transaction.
I don't think they even take it anymore. I think they just realized it's just, what's the point?
I think somebody else told me that they had more than 50 on-chain Bitcoin Cash payments that night at the restaurant. So. Yeah,
it was a very busy night. And speaking on the pizza motif, bchpizza.org, done by Jonald Fugball, old Bitcoiner. He's behind Electron Cash.
Yep.
Is that right? It's basically a website dedicated to growing merchant adoption of Bitcoin Cash. So here's how it works. Basically, anyone can post a BCH bounty to reward a pizza shop in their city, and pizza establishments can then claim the bounties by starting to accept Bitcoin Cash. So trying to encourage that entrepreneurial kind of bounty for for pizza shops to basically accept Bitcoin Cash and start allowing on-chain pizzas across the world. So go check it out, bchpizza.org. Next up, Cheap Air. They now accept Bitcoin Cash, and I think the biggest thing is just we want to invite more airlines to start doing the same,
Expedia, Travelocity, get your act together. We're ready to pay in Bitcoin Cash.
There's a ton of marketing that can be
But thank you, Cheap Air. We love you. You guys were the first, back in maybe 2013.
Yeah.
So great job, Cheap Air.
Yeah, hats off to Cheap Air. I think, just speaking on that part too, I think there's a lot to be said about being able to accept Bitcoin Cash. There's a huge community, around the Bitcoin Cash. The people are willing to spend. We've got acceptbitcoin.cash, the website, which lists tons of different businesses that accept Bitcoin Cash. So if you're a new airline, if you're a new business, and you start accepting Bitcoin Cash, reach out to the community and you'll get listed. You'll get some extra promotion. You'll get a ton of traffic.
You'll get new customers.
Yeah, it's kind of foolproof. Next up.
Yeah. Actually, I want to talk about the Bitcoin Cash Pizza Days. So all the days kind of blurred together for me a little bit. But you're right, it was on a Tuesday, and it didn't occur to me that it wasn't the Thursday. Our usual meetups are Thursday. Yeah. Maybe we should start having. I know they talked about having the Bitcoin Cash meetups weekly rather than monthly now.
They did it. Yeah.
I think they ought to just start making it Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I think everyone will just start going to those, and nobody will even go to the Thursday Bitcoin Core meetups anymore.
Well, truth be told, yesterday
already kind of
pretty quiet in comparison. I mean, if you look on meetup.com, look up the Bitcoin Tokyo, and then look up Bitcoin Cash Tokyo, you'll see
Bitcoin Cash has way more action.
Way more action.
Not even close.
Yeah, I think the next one's Wednesday. This upcoming Wednesday. It's at this new bar.
Rock On or something.
Yeah, in Roppongi. And shout out to Akane for getting them set up with Bitcoin Cash.
And if you're not a part of our local Tokyo scene, come for a visit. Tokyo is awesome. So many places you can spend Bitcoin Cash. Download the Marco Koino app, and you can see them all. And then if you have a business in your town, add it to the Marco Koino app as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just come check out these meetups. It's
fun.
Shocking. It's fun. You get to meet, you get to talk about this stuff. When I talk about this with friends and family, they kind of, at some point they just shut up.
And I hear a lot of people in the West complaining, and I don't think it's an issue one bit, but a lot of people complain, there's not enough women in crypto.
Yeah.
I don't care what your gender is. If you're interested in crypto, you're okay by me. But at the Tokyo Bitcoin Meetup, lots of girls come. A lot. Not just a few, a lot.
It's surprising how much is picked up in the last little while. I mean, there's a ton of interest in Bitcoin Cash. People want to invest. People want to trade. People want to use this stuff. It's exciting.
Yeah. And sometimes I'd say 25, even 35% of the people in attendance seem to be girls, which that's a lot for a Bitcoin.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it, absolutely. Next up, Money Button.
So Money Button. Deal.
Yeah, so yours.org. You spoke with Ryan X. Charles here just this last week.
You saw him last week, yeah.
Yeah, go check that video out if you haven't had a chance. Basically, they've integrated Money Button into a few other websites. So I believe the first one, or one of the first ones, was this recent fork of the Satoshi Nakamoto Institute.
Yeah.
So if you go check out nakamotostudies.org, this was done by, is it Derek McGill?
No.
This was,
what's his name? Another difficult name.
Daniel
Krawisz or something like that. Yeah,
that's the one. Sorry if we mispronounced your last name. They've added the yours.org money button. It basically allows for people to donate and tip content creators on different websites. It's the same.
I think we'll probably do that on Bitcoin.com here pretty soon too. As soon as we have enough time to do that.
Right? Yeah, it's huge. I mean, if you have a website, if you have a blog, if you have
anything on the internet,
you can tie in this money button and start accepting Bitcoin Cash for your.
The worst that can possibly happen is people will send you money.
Yeah,
so that's not a bad result.
Can't hurt. So actually, speaking on that, just because we did touch on it, there was a fork on the Satoshi Nakamoto Institute. So basically, what had happened is Daniel Krawisz, more or less got pushed out of the
guy that
organization.
started it.
Yeah, the founder.
Kind of like what happened to Bitcoin now that you mention it,
Kind of
right?
what happened with Gavin. Yeah. It's kind of the history repeats itself. But essentially he didn't get invited to the annual dinner at the Satoshi Nakamoto Institute where they just discussed the future. He was one of I think he still is the leading contributor in terms of the amount of articles that have been posted. They basically reshare all of the original Satoshi Nakamoto emails and treat it as a bit of an archive of the early discussions with Satoshi Nakamoto. What had happened though is anytime he had, basically he was a Bitcoin Cash supporter. So
basically he was a Bitcoin supporter. Is
yes,
what that means.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
And more or less they started saying, well, you're not one of us, so get the hell out of here.
And I was reading the chat logs between Gavin and then the other guy that kicked him out of the Nakamoto Institute. It's a French guy. I forget his name at the moment.
Yeah.
And Gavin was basically saying so clear, like he said, I think that a cryptocurrency that has more transactions is worth more than one that has less.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, nope, I don't agree. And then Gavin said, well, so why don't we just limit the block size so there's a room for just one single transaction per block and people can bid against each other for that one single transaction. Why not? And the other guy's like, no. And like I read the whole chat log and it's just like Gavin is such a reasonable, great guy and polite and nice with well-reasoned arguments. Yeah. And these other guys are just often, I don't know what universe they're living in. They just see the world so incredibly differently where they don't think that a currency having the ability to have more transactions is better than one that can have less transactions. Like if you don't see that, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah. No, couldn't agree more. I think, like hats off to guys like Daniel and hats off to guys like Gavin who, have had to put up with a lot of shit from some of the craziness. I mean, anyone who can kind of speak out and speak their mind. I think, self-censorship is one of the worst types of censorship. And in this day and age, you got to be vocal, stand behind your beliefs, do what you can. Yeah. Next up. So we're already on the next page. Sorry.
Well, actually, that's probably a good place to come to a little break here. So we have a first demo to the outside world. It's not quite live on the website yet, but here's an example of our new paper wallets, right? So here's your instructions on one side. Here's your public key on the other side. And I already put 20 or $25 on there. $20 is at this public key. And I have the private key is folded over here at the moment, but I'll zoom in nice and close for everybody. There you go. There's the private key with $20 worth of Bitcoin Cash on it. So whoever scans that with their Bitcoin.com wallet gets the $20 first, just like that. Another thing that's not so useful on Bitcoin Core at this point, because you wouldn't get $20. Maybe you'd get 19 or 18, and then by the time you spend it, it costs another $1 or $2 to spend. And
it's the gold that keeps on crumbling.
Yeah, Bitcoin Cash is the way to go. So we have it right here. So the paper wallets are already available on tools.bitcoin.com. But if you go there, you have all sorts of, it's not just paper wallets, we have all sorts of great tools. And Bitcoin.com in general, of course, this is the Bitcoin.com weekly roundup. But like we have a whole team of coming up on 100 people working full time to make Bitcoin.com a better website. So new stuff is coming out all the time, every day there. So visit Bitcoin.com often and tell your friends.
Yeah.
And for this YouTube channel, like it's not the end of the video, but we'll toss it in here now. Comment on the video, like the video, share the video on your social media. YouTube has algorithms that the more likes and comments and stuff, the more likely they'll show it in the search results within YouTube. And then again, it's up to all of us to get the word out about these things that are going on. So please, I'm not just saying it because it's fun to say it. I'm saying it because I really do want you to like and subscribe and share the video.
Yeah. And actually, speaking on that, if you weren't fast enough to claim the free Bitcoin there, head to free.bitcoin.com and free.bitcoin.com and check it out. Basically, just log in with Twitter, prove you're a human. You get a little tiny bit of Bitcoin Cash to get you started. So you got a little bit in that wallet. It'll be kind of a fun little experiment. And yeah, feel free to share that link as well with friends and family if you want to introduce them. And it's great.
And these paper wallets will be free. They're open source. It's on our website. It'll be online soon. But another version of the paper wallet's available right now today. So if you want to keep your Bitcoin safe, paper wallet's a great way to do it. The Bitcoin.com wallet's also a fantastic way to use your Bitcoin.
Yeah, wallet.bitcoin.com. If you don't have a Bitcoin.com wallet, go check it out. It's great. We work on it every day, nonstop, around the clock. It's a fun project. Yeah. So next up,
we should talk about the wallet a little bit more. Actually, we finally have put together a pretty strong team that'll prove to be making updates quickly and regularly. So I think you'll see a lot of improvements coming week after week now. Yeah. And I can't talk about the exact details of it, but we have a really, really awesome payment solution integration that's coming that the world is going to love, and all the Bitcoin Core supporters are going to be so jealous of the fantastic support for merchants we have within our app.
Yeah.
Like, you're even going to wind up with a discount using our wallet to pay at like household name locations. So sorry to tease it a little bit, but some of the biggest businesses in the world, you'll be able to pay using the Bitcoin.com wallet right there physically in the store and get a discount at the same time. That's a pretty damn big deal.
It's huge. It's huge. I mean, it's what we've been kind of waiting for. And I think it's all happening on Bitcoin Cash. It's the future, guys.
Bitcoin Cash is the cash of the future.
Absolutely. So we'll mention it just because it's kind of an interesting topic. We all know Cobra he's the admin from Bitcoin.org. He's a fairly old Bitcoiner, and recently, over the last couple of weeks, he's progressively getting more into Bitcoin Cash. So he had one tweet here saying, "The feeling when Blockstream, whose employees and advocates have been attacking Bitcoin Cash for not being decentralized enough, released Liquid, a completely centralized sidechain run only by trusted nodes and designed for banks, financial institutions, and exchanges." We're seeing some movement there, and then I think it was maybe a day or two later. I think it was actually during the Bitcoin Pizza Night. I saw the tweet show up and kind of had a giggle and was sharing it around. Saying, "What the hell is this?" But Cobra Bitcoin. This is at Cobra Bitcoin. On Twitter. I'm actually in love with how focused Bitcoin Cash is on adoption and merchants. It feels like Bitcoin back in the old days. I almost feel guilty for being excited about Bitcoin Cash, but payments is so important and cool, and Bitcoin Cash is kicking ass in that area.
So his tweet is correct, but I think he's a snake.
He's a snake.
And I don't trust that guy at all. Where is he speaking out against the censorship that's been going on, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen tweets about that. And I would be really, really concerned that he's trying to slither his way into the Bitcoin Cash community and then cause some divisiveness there as well.
He may very well. I mean, he has had a lot of strange tweets, including mentioning that Bitcoin needs to change its proof of work to avoid minor centralization.
So actually, that's not on our list here, but we should talk about that too. So that was the entire impetus behind a fork of Bitcoin called Bitcoin Gold.
Yes.
That was claimed, we want to prevent minor centralization and have it be, mineable by everybody. Turned out somebody had 51% of the, I guess it's GPU mineable. Somebody had more than 51% of the GPU mining power and stole like $18 million from exchanges.
They cleaned house. Yeah. And I mean, that's what we're seeing is you have these best laid plans, and
I don't think the Bitcoin Gold plans were the best laid plans because they had a pre-mine for like the forkers of it. They got like 200,000 extra Bitcoin Bitcoin Gold or whatever too. So like that's not the best of intentions. There.
No, I mean the fact is there's momentum behind Bitcoin Cash, and these other kind of forks off of SegWit 1x. They're all just the same. They've got the same model, or they've got even worse models.
Even worse,
and it's just the fact that they're just. I mean. Yeah, they're not even worth talking about too much, in my opinion. It's just...
Well, I think the market cap tells a big part of the story, too, as to which ones are worth talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Next thing is Tipperbot and ChainTip were banned from cryptocurrency, from our cryptocurrency on Reddit. So our cryptocurrency is basically just... best I can describe it.
Do you spend much time in there? I
pop in there just purely to re-educate people. Because there's a lot of mudslinging going on over there, but a lot of it's just what should I buy in the next week? What's gonna pump and move?
Buy, sell.
Yeah, it's basically traders and stuff like that. But there's a lot of misinformation going on in that community.
I've heard people talk about some censorship taking place there. Is there as well? I don't think there is enough to know.
I believe there's some mods that are mods in our cryptocurrency, and they're the same mods as in our Bitcoin.
It's a pretty strong negative sign.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things when we're seeing. Our cryptocurrency is banning these tipper bots, which allow people to do on-chain and off-chain transactions through the Reddit platform, and they're not allowing it. It just seems a little bit.
So I read their reply, and they said because if we allow one type of tipper bot, we have to allow it for every coin.
That seems okay.
I kind of think I would rather like everybody tipping everybody and have a big giant tipping love fest than like nobody can tip with any cryptocurrency in our cryptocurrency, but. Yeah.
Well, speaking on the tipper bots, maybe I'll skip ahead because this one's just kind of interesting, and we'll come back to some of these other ones. So, Bitcoin Cash tip bots. There's a ton going on. We've got, let me count here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 tip bots at least
that we know of on our list.
There might be, I believe there's some in China as well, and Weibo and some other ones as well. But just Bitcoin Cash tip bots. They're a great way to introduce new users and just to kind of send a little bit to someone through a chat app. So we've got the Tip Me BCH by Andreas Brecken on Telegram. Very popular little tip bot. If you can invite this little Tip Me BCH character into the into your chat and basically
Start
just start
tipping.
tipping people within the chat group. So if they have a funny comment or put an awesome sticker up, send
Tipping
them.
BCH.
Yeah, it's great. Next one was the Tipper bot, which was created by Rob Danielson. Tipper bot's popular on both Reddit as well as on Twitter. You'll probably recognize the little yellow robot guy. Really, really seen a lot of traction. They've got a stats page as well, which shows how many transactions they've done. So go check it out. It's pretty unreal. Next one is the tip bot for Discord, which was done for the Bitcoin Cash Foundation. Bitcoin Cash Fund. I always mess that up. Bitcoin Cash Fund. And yeah, it's on Discord. I believe they've open sourced it as well, so other Discord groups can invite the tip bot and begin doing Bitcoin Cash transactions there. Other one we've got is getcash.io, which is a GitHub tipping. So any commits, if someone solves a little bug,
Give them a tip.
you can leave them a little tip. It's a great way to kind of incentivize developers and just say thank you. And then the last one was the BCH tip bot on Slack, which was, I believe, originally created by BTC.com.
And actually, there's another one that's not on your list, but you can use as a skipper, is the Cointext.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? Just put in their phone number and send them a tip in Bitcoin Cash, right?
Yeah.
Great.
And it sounds like they've got some huge plans for scaling globally. They've got some big stuff in the works. So yeah, go check out Cointext and big shout out to Vin Armani for his hard work on that. I'm sure they're going
And for not being afraid to speak up for what's true either.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ben.
Next up, we'll go back to still lots of debate going on between the bits versus cash denomination. What are your thoughts on it?
I like bits.
I like bits too.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Ken Shishito. I know that he put through that proposal. He's a great dude. I
do kind of think that the native English speakers should be the ones to decide people who aren't native. And I've heard the argument from the French people that I guess bits doesn't mean something very nice in French, but we're talking about Bitcoin, right? So doesn't that have the same negative connotation in French than bits would?
Yeah.
So I think bits is fine.
I think it's all right. I mean,
and I do, if we could get some movement, and maybe we'll be the trendsetter at some point on that, but there's higher priority things at the moment. But I think it would be a good idea to have a smaller denomination of Bitcoin Cash, so it looks like the value per unit is good. And even though it's completely irrational, you see all sorts of people saying, "Oh, I'd rather buy Ripple because the price is so cheap compared to the price of Bitcoin." Whereas if we start pricing everything in bits, and the price suddenly of Bitcoin bits or Bitcoin Cash bits or whatever is a fraction of a penny, people think, "Oh, it's so cheap, I can get it on the ground floor." So even though they don't understand the math that's going on here, I do kind of think marketing is important.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do something on that at some point.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's a great idea. Next up was the host and some guests as well on CNBC Fast Money, calling Bitcoin Cash a must-own, advising to sell Bitcoin Core.
And look at this little uptrend we've got going here. We've held what was support. It's still support. So now we have a catalyst and a good-looking chart. For me, that's a place that I want to buy.
I think there's, right? Like anybody that's used either one for payments, it's clear. Bitcoin Cash works, Bitcoin Core doesn't. And if the goal is to have this become money for the world, Bitcoin Core has kind of given up on that. And they say, "Oh, we're just a store of value, we're digital gold." Okay, well, look at what everybody stores their value in. They store their value in the money that's the most widely used. Dollars, euros, yen.
Yeah.
People use as a store of value. Bitcoin Cash is on track to have that market share. Bitcoin Core, good luck, guys, but you're on the wrong path.
Well, it's funny. Them just speaking their own minds. You see them on Twitter. Their
They
poor
get
account.
attacked.
They get attacked. Yeah, they get a little taste of what
Welcome
you get
to
every
the
day.
Attack Club. Yeah.
It's pretty funny to see. But I mean, I think the most ironic one was seeing Samson Mow.
He was literally calling for the SEC to investigate CNBC or something. If you want the SEC to investigate people for what they're saying about different cryptocurrencies, you are the exact type of person that Bitcoin was meant to nullify and make irrelevant, right? The entire point of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is to allow people to permissionlessly innovate and permissionlessly trade and permissionlessly do whatever the heck they want with their own money. So if you're busy whining like a little someone who doesn't like BCH to the SEC, you are the exact type of person Bitcoin was meant to make irrelevant. So thank you for proving our point. Which side of this Bitcoin scaling debate are the people that are actually the true Bitcoin lovers, and it's not the people that are whining to the SEC.
So for those who don't know, who is Samson Mow?
He is the chief strategy officer of Blockstream. He is literally in charge of he's the chief strategy officer of Blockstream, the company that's been paying more core developers for the longest time, and that's been the most opposed to actually using Bitcoin as cash. This is the chief strategy officer of Blockstream complained to the SEC about people having an opinion and stating it publicly about cryptocurrencies. And that's one more example of why we need decentralized social media platforms like Memo.cash and BlockPress. And I think we're going to see more and more of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that, whiny people can't go and complain to a bunch of strangers in a far-off land that want to use guns to silence people on the internet. No. Cryptocurrencies are about free exchange of value and freedom of speech. So, man, if you're trying to stifle people's ability to use it as money or stifle people's ability to talk about it, you're an enemy of this entire worldwide revolution that we're having right now. So congratulations for making our point, Samson. You're the exact type of person that Bitcoin was supposed to make irrelevant and is making irrelevant. So I'm looking forward to neutering people like Samson and neutering people like the SEC. I'm looking forward to seeing more unlicensed securities around the world. That's all about allowing permissionless innovation. We shouldn't need permission from the SEC to start an ICO or to issue a token or do any of this sort of stuff. So, and the SEC people that are watching, go and find honest work, right? Your entire salary is extracted from people with threats of violence. If they don't pay your salary, they go to jail. How can you look at yourself in the mirror every day? And I suspect the reason you do look at yourself in the mirror every day is because you didn't stop to think about where your paycheck is coming from. It's coming from lots of people that don't want to pay your salary. So go and find customers that are willing to pay for you. And in fact, I have a suggestion for the SEC. You should convert your entire website into an ICO advisory page where you can rate the ICOs that are coming out and say why you think this ICO is a good one and that one's a bad one and this team's a good one and that one's a bad one. And you can charge a subscription fee to your website where people can voluntarily choose to pay you for your advice on ICOs that are coming out instead of extracting money from people under the threat of sending them to jail if they don't pay in the form of taxation. So SEC, start a real business rather than one that's basically a mafia organization which you extract money from people by force. So there's my message to the SEC today.
Well said. If you like that rant,
hit that like button.
Hit it, smash it. Okay.
And if you don't like the rant, tag us on Twitter and the SEC and let them know what we're saying about them too.
That was good. That was awesome. Actually, speaking on that, Samson Mow, you guys had a debate, right?
We did, yeah. And if you haven't watched the debate, please do. It's on YouTube. Search Roger Ver, Samson Mow.
It's an interesting debate. Yeah, interesting debate. I had a kick out of it. You could tell he was kind of out of his depth, I thought.
He seemed a little bit fidgety.
He did.
On stage here. And about the only arguments that I see these other people online having about it is that I'm complaining about babies dying. And it's true. I won't go into all the details now of how it works, but I'll make a whole separate video on my own personal channel explaining the underlying economics. Like more economic freedom means more babies will survive and fewer babies will die. So if you don't want babies to die, support economic freedom. And that doesn't mean Bitcoin Cash specifically. It means economic freedom in general.
Absolutely. Next up, Bitcoin.com, wallet being attacked by core trolls. You want to go on this one? This one, I might get you going again.
Yeah, and I get going a lot recently. So we have an awesome, I think we definitely have the best Bitcoin Cash wallet, I think, around. We're responsible for, I think, more Bitcoin Cash transactions than probably any other wallet at this point. Our wallet also fully supports Bitcoin Core. You can make your Bitcoin Core transactions right there within our wallet as well. It supports both, but we have a bunch of people lying in the Apple App Store and on the Google Play Store, basically brigading our wallet reviews, saying things like "be cash, be trash," or like just plain lying, saying that our wallet is fooling people and into thinking that Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin, and like the wallet's very, very clearly labeled between Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Cash. That uses the cash address format versus the Bitcoin Core address format. Like you're not going to get it mixed up. So it's basically people lying intentionally. And you look at when the reviews come in, like all of a sudden you get like, 941, 941, 942, 943. And they all come in like for the course of like 5 minutes and they'll get like 20 reviews and then no additional reviews. And they're all people saying the exact same thing. So it's a very clearly an orchestrated attempt to lower our ranking within the App Store. But luckily, in both the App Store and the Google Play Store and in most countries around the world, we're either the top or the second most popular result when you search for Bitcoin Wallet in the App Store. So thankfully, people that actually believe in Bitcoin have Bitcoin.com and get to use that name to brand the real version of Bitcoin, which is Bitcoin Cash. Go read the white paper if you don't believe me, and then try using both of them. It's clear to anybody.
Absolutely. Go try it out, wallet.bitcoin.com. Superb app, super fast, zero conf payments. I use it all the time, buying beer, coffee, you name it.
And please try the Bitcoin Core version as well, though, and it'll be so clear to you. Like the only people that support Bitcoin Core are the ones that don't actually use it for payments. Anybody that actually uses it as money knows Bitcoin Cash is a million times better.
Yeah. Absolutely. So a little self-promotion on my end. TXhighway.com, we upgraded to 32 lanes. So 32 lanes for the 32 megabyte potential for block sizes. We added a Bitcoin.com billboard. We've added new vehicles for memo.cash, BlockPress, and even yours.org. So if you do send a message on memo.cash or BlockPress, you will see your message go by on the
Special
highway.
vehicle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You'll see the whole message and everything. Go check it out. It's getting pretty squishy at some point. I don't even know if we'll ever have if we'll upgrade or if we'll just remove the limit altogether at some point. But yeah, it's
what can we have represent when we have like maybe no block size limit or blocks bigger than you can display?
I don't know.
I don't know, a giant water slide or something.
If you've got any ideas for what we can do, put it in the comments. Yeah, well, let us know because we're still trying to figure out what to put in there. There's a lot of fun stuff we can do on that little project.
And if you have topics you want us to cover next week, put it in the comments. Corbin and I will spend some time reading the comments and replying there too.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Next up, kind of a big one from Japan. GMO in Japan, they added Bitcoin Cash to their crypto loan program, so you can earn extra coin by basically locking it up for a while if you feel like it. Of course, do this at your own discretion, et cetera, et cetera. Be secure. But
there's a lot to be said for holding your own private keys, but it's nice to be able to earn some interest on your crypto as well.
If you're a long-term holder and you just want to help a Japanese company, check out GMO.
GMO is a household name in Japan. It is a big deal in Japan.
Speaking on GMO, they recently announced that they've supposedly got a 7 nanometer miner.
Yeah,
7 nanometer chips.
June 6th. A couple of our guys from the office will be there. Look to news.bitcoin.com. I'm sure we'll report on the details. But 7 nanometer, that's a high-end process, right?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what that thing can do. So
June 6th.
June 6th. I think that's the big one. So that
which is June 5th in the rest of the world. We're kind of far ahead. We're living in the future here in Japan. We're a whole day in advance.
Winklevoss twins, they added Bitcoin Cash to the Gemini exchange. It serves 48 states, Puerto Rico, Canada, Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and the UK.
And I think it's also a big deal because they give feeds to a lot of other like institutional type things. Like I think it's their feed that's in the Bloomberg terminal and some other stuff. So the fact that they have Bitcoin Cash available there, it's a big deal.
Yeah, special thanks to the Winklevoss twins. Keep it up. We're glad to see you supporting the real Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I think that kind of covers it because we're pretty well done. Is any other kind of big final things you want to tell people?
Nope, but I guess yes. Nope, but means yes.
Of course.
So anyhow, as you can tell, we're doing our YouTube channel on a regular basis here. Subscribe, like, share it. We keep asking, and tell your friends to subscribe, share it around. That's how we get the word out, and it's up to you guys to help do that because we can only do so much. But we'll post the videos on yours.org, memo.cash. We'll post everywhere on Steemit. Like we'll post it around, but we also want you guys to share it on your own social media. So put it on your Twitter. Put it on your Facebook, put it on your own memo.cash and your BlockPress and Steemit accounts. Share it everywhere you can. And tip your friends in Bitcoin Cash. Give them a Bitcoin Cash wallet. Set them up with it.
Try out one of these tip bots. They're amazing. I mean, I'm on a few of them, and it's a great way to just kind of spread the love. It's awesome. And speaking on the YouTube stuff, hit that little bell icon too.
To get notifications turned on. That's right.
Yeah, YouTube's got a funky little algorithm. They don't really follow the subscribe as much as they used to. So you need that little bell icon to be hit in order to have it show up in your feed and get notifications when we post a new one. So that way you can kind of stay up to date on what's going on in Bitcoin Cash and hear Roger's next spiel.
And Corbin's, I think Corbin will be with me every week when I'm in Tokyo. And then next week again, you'll have a chance to get some free Bitcoin Cash. We'll display another private key. We'll try to do that every week. So if you're subscribed, you have the first shot at being the one there to scan the private key as we do that. So,
absolutely. No, thanks for tuning in.
See you next week.
See you guys.